SuperGP Champions Trophy is proudly brought to you by Diode and their associate sponsors. Right, so that is the formalities done and dusted. So
got some famous people on the grid here, I see.
There's a couple of famous people there. The MEC is here as well,
MEC.
which is really nice to see. And of course, meeting some of the riders. They've been down to Temba Kamala there, part of the MTech Racing Squad. Now having a quick chat to Lance Isaacs, first BMW, and on the second row of the grid there, Sir Lancelot. And a little fist pump there from Brad and Asses at the same time too.
Saying, please don't beat my
Please,
rider.
please, Lance. All right, so we've got a Yamaha, BMW, and Kawasaki battle. Eventually, we've got 3 manufacturers involved. I know that Suzuki are looking to come back in here in a big way with their new machinery.
Well, they've got their rider further back there who's taken AJ Fenter's place, and that's the little man, old Niels' son from Foss by Niels. It's Morné Geldenhuys.
Morné Geldenhuys, that's
so
right.
great to see him first time out on the 1000cc Suzuki and doing a great job. I watched his lap times improve from the first session yesterday morning to now and running in the 4s. So an incredible effort there from the young man and his dad on that Uncle Andy Suzuki. So watch out for him. But just I can't believe the depth in the field here. We've got Michael White there in 4th place, Lance Isaacs in 5th, Brandon Good in 6th. He showed some good pace this weekend. Dean Force, who's already won races at Zwartkops this year in two-wheeled racing action. AJ Fenter, first time out on the Yamaha, and Darren Upton, a very fast rider on that BMW. He will not be happy being down there on the 3rd row of the grid, and already picked up podium finishes this year, so watch out for him. Carrick Flock also further back. Brent Harron on the new bike, he'll also be looking to get further up. Won the first race here last year, let's not forget,
yes,
on the Kawasaki, so a man to watch out for. And then Ryan van Aswegen, I think the first of the regional riders back there on the same grid as Flock and Brent Harron. But definitely the 2 Yamahas out front, Maddie Scholz and Clint Seller once again going at it to right to the end in qualifying, and just being pipped there was Clint Seller by Matthew Scholz. And Greg Geldenhuys on that Kawasaki, really coming to tune with it now, and the 3-time SA champ, a man to watch out for, because if there's anyone who's going to stay with us 2 out front, it is Greg Geldenhuys.
Yeah, I think also just never ever forget the consortium shipping Yamaha there of Michael White. We haven't mentioned him yet, but we're about to. And Michael White certainly has got a turn of pace and has got to grips with that Yamaha very, very nicely. So I think he could also be possibly there. I'm looking down on the pit lane though, and I'm looking at Lance Isaacs' pit, and I can see that Pitbull has joined him there by the looks of things, eh? So a little bit of celebrity there too, alongside. But I think, as we've mentioned, Yamahas are certainly the bike to be on this year. And now that Greg Geldenhuys has found that pace on the 2016 machine, he is going to throw in a very, very big thorn in the side of the Yamaha machinery. Lance Isaac will be looking to stay with these guys and bring Brandon Good along for the ride too. He's another man that we've mentioned on that second row of the grid. Look out for that ITR Kawasaki and the Trolling Kawasaki of Dean Machine. AJ, Hygienica Racing, certainly a new man in this field, and would look to be at the front end as quickly as possible. That's where he wanted to be on the Suzuki. He just couldn't get to grips with it. And of course, Darren Upton, the second BMW.
If you put some road signs and robots on the track, AJ will go about 4 seconds a lap faster.
Instantaneously, which will be really good to see.
But just speaking about Greg Geldenhuys and the Kawasaki, watch out for those Kawasaki's when you get down to Cape Town, when it can stretch their legs a bit more. Those Kawasaki's definitely like the open tracks, the fast-flowing tracks like Pekisa and indeed Cape Town. And Greg Geldenhuys last time out actually at Pekisa and indeed at Zwartkops has won already. So really a dark horse in this race.
Such a pity we're not going to East London this year.
Yes. Yeah, then that Kawasaki I think would be you'd see 10 more Kawasaki's out on the grid for East London.
All right, so as we're getting into the final bits of the build-up here for race 1 of the Super GP. Double G, Greg Geldenhuys, 3-time South African champion back-to-back with Creepy Crawley backing him, along with his normal sponsors, as we mentioned. Gavin Lightfoot out there from KMSA, Kawasaki. Dad Marnie there, of course, and Murdoch's Autobody, one of the sponsors that have been involved with Greg Geldenhuys his entire racing career. Consortium shipping Yamaha is Michael White. Lance Isaacs Racing BMW is, of course, Lance Isaacs himself. The Linex Yamaha is Brandon Good. ITR and Trolling Kawasaki is Dean Foss. It's a Hygienica Yamaha of Alan John Fenter that's alongside Foss. Then we go to the RSA and Turnskill Engineering BMW of Upton.
Now, I dare you to say Brent Harron sponsors.
Okay, Brent Harron sponsors. I'm going to try and get them all. Okay. KBD, Ride Fast, Kawasaki.
Keep going.
I'm trying. Bell helmets. There's a whole bunch there. He's a privateer, so he's got to try and get as much money as he can, which is exactly what he's done, and he's not doing a bad job with it.
Not yet.
Alongside him is Heinrich Rieder Racing, and of course the Diamond Core drilling machine of Garrick Flock. And Garrick Flock, also a very quick man around here.
Watch out.
So could possibly be a bit of a spoiler here for the day if he gets a good start. Ryan van Arsvegen leading out the regionals, and so far so good for him. Van Arsvegen, of course, I had to give a mention out because otherwise Solange will give me a big clap afterwards. So go for it, Ryan.
Shout out to Temba Kamalo on the MTech Racing Yamaha, because
fastest lap time around here for him.
Yeah, and a shout out to them means we get a free lunch. So
we hope so. Yeah,
MTech, please.
MTech Racing, are you hearing us? We hope you are. Temba Kamalo alongside Morne Geldenhuis, alongside Justin Gillison, second of the Lance Isaacs Racing BMWs. Ricky Leweer, second of the Heinrich Rieder Racing Machines. 88, but further back there. Nice start for him. And I think we're going to have to keep an eye on some of those riders in the back as well, because Damien Purificati, Hendrik de Bruin, welcome return to National Championship Racing for him. Etienne Nelson, one of the big. Dylan Gray. Unfortunately, one man missing from the grid, Jay Goodsite. Big crash yesterday, and didn't quite make it out and get the bike.
And he was fast yesterday. He was running in the twos at one stage.
Incredibly fast, yes indeed. Evert Stoffberg, Johnny Kricher, of course, and of course right at the back, Ferdinand Frederick, as we get ready for the warm-up lap here of race 1 of the SuperGP Champions Trophy. This is round 3 here at Zwartkops. It's 18 laps of action, and they're about to start the first one, which of course is just the warm-up to give him a chance to get that heat into the rubber.
Oh, Greg, I'm so excited. I don't know whether to sit down or stand up. I'm really so excited for this race. I think it's going to be a battle of the best races that South Africa has ever seen. And all the way down the field, there's some guys that can really cause some upsets. So it's just going to be so entertaining, this race.
There's just too many factors to bring in here, because if 100%. You look at the lap times we mentioned earlier on, Rob, between first and 11th place on the grid is only 1.2 seconds. So, man, any of those riders can take a victory. And if Greg Kildenhuis goes the way he does in the start, that's exactly what we need. Just throw in that green thorn, or let's put a green cat amongst those blue pigeons. Because, man alive, we are in for an awesome day's racing here. And so far we've had it. Every single category that's been out on track so far has delivered some incredible race action. So more of the same now from the premier category of South African motorcycle racing, the SuperGP Champions Trophy.
Final stages now of the warm-up lap. Greg Kildenhuis leads out on the warm-up lap, getting as much heat into those Pirelli tires as he can. Remember, they've switched to SC1 rear tires now, so a lot more grip available out on the track, and you can see that in the lap times. Definitely the preferred tire for a lot of the riders, and big up to making that decision from Pirelli to allow them to ride the SC1s. So we're going to see some incredible lap times. You can see Matty Scholz getting himself pumped and ready for this race. He's got the championship lead, made a mistake last time out of Pekisa, lost 25 points to Sella. So it's definitely on between those. Greg Kildenhuis, like you said, that green thorn in the side of the Yamahas. Throw in Lance Isaacs, that man, Michael White, Brandon Good, Dean Foss, AJ Fenter, Brent Aaron. It's time to go racing. Let's do this.
Yeah, we're coming under starters orders now. Look out for the fastest 30 seconds of your life as the 30-second board goes up. The red lights will be coming on as the 5-second board.
Activated.
Launch control activated. Here we go. 25 motorcycles about to hit the front, and what a start from Sella. Sella has got the drop and disappeared at the front end. Whole shots into turn 1. Scholz on his tail, right on that exhaust pipe as they pitch it through turn 1. Michael White looks like he's up into third place there as they come under braking. And now under braking. Whoa, it is extremely close. Round the outside, one of the Kawasaki's getting a little bit wide. Greg Kildenhuis not quite right into turn 2. Not where he wants to be, but as they come onto the back straight, it is Matthew Scholz who has now returned the favour there on Kinsella.
There we go, Sella at turn 4 on the brakes. No Scholz, he manages to hold out. Who is that? It's AJ Fenter up into third position. Greg Kildenhuis, the dark horse, he's got a terrible start. He's down in about 6th position at the moment, so a lot of work to do there for the Kawasaki man at the top of the hill. Sella's going to try and make the move, on the inside of Matty Scholz, forces the other Yamaha man wide, and AJ Fenter with Dean Foss right on his tail. So great start there for the two riders.
Yeah, magic start there from Dean Foss and from Alan John Fenter as they came up the top of the hill. They flick it over onto the left-hand side. Watch out, because this is where it gets a little bit tricky. First time you've gone in anger on the left-hand side of the tire, everybody gets through clean and clear. Coming across the line, Sella from Scholz, from Fenter. What a start there from AJ. Dean Foss right on his tail. Brandon Good with Greg Kildenhuis and Darren Upton. Michael White, Brent Aaron, and Lance Isaacs. Isaacs down into 10th place. What a terrible start there from the BMW. He has got massive work to do. And as they came through there, the top 10 split by 1.7 seconds.
Now Sella is trying to extend that gap now, but Matthew Scott's not going to let him. He's pulled a couple of bike lengths as we head onto the back straight. So a lot of work to do there for Matthew Scott. AJ Fenter doing an incredible job hanging in with the 2 Yamaha men out front. Dean Foss on the Kawasaki. And Greg Caldenas, look at the speed he carries in turn 4, trying to make the move on Brandon Good because he knows he's losing valuable time on the 3 and 4 front just ahead of him. So the Kawasaki man needs to do it as we get a little bit of information here now. Bike number 33 with a jump start.
Yeah, no, Ryan Van Arsbeek unfortunately down at turn 7, so they didn't all get through turn 7 unfortunately there.
Oh, you can see the yellow flags.
Yeah, yellow flags coming into turn 7. The rider is down in turn number 7 there. That's bike number 33. It's a bright orange and black Kawasaki. Ryan Van Arsbeek is the man who is on board. He's fortunately off the bike. According to the marshals, all okay as our leaders cross the line and start lap number 3.
Greg Caldenas is looking very frustrated there in 6th position behind Brandon Good. He's trying every which way he can. And look at that, Clint Seller, a 101.1 out front. He was almost a second faster than Matthew Scholz on that last lap. So definitely pulling the pin and extending that lead now on the Neo Life Yamaha. AJ Fenter doing a great job to hang in with Matthew Scholz. Caldenas eventually does make the move there in turn 4 on Brandon Good.
Sorry to jump in, Rob, but just checking out there, the ER24 guys just helping Ryan Van Arsbeek. And you can see he's okay. He's moving around and parked up against the tyres, but the bike is down and he is out. So back to the racing at the front end. Second place is where this battle is, and it's Matthew Scholz who's trying to hold off the very much big attention coming from Alan John Fenter. Hygienica Racing Yamaha, first time on that R1, and he's already into the thick of the action. That's the kind of rider he is, and that's the kind of bike he's on.
100%. That R1 works so well, especially around the Zwartkops racetrack. AJ Fenter's got it set up just how he wants, running in that podium position. But Greg Caldenas, he's made the move. He's in 5th position now, and he's already charging down. A 101 last time out by Clint. And look at that, Clint Seller, a minute 0.9. The first time a bike has gone under the 101 barrier in I don't even know how long. So what an incredible job, and he's extended that lead now over Matthew Scholz, who last time out a 101.7. So almost a second quicker than anyone on track.
Well, I can tell you the last time a bike did a minute dead, of course it was in qualifying, but in race pace, a 1 minute 0.9, wow, that is absolutely appalling. I think the only possibility would have been Shez at some stage, but I don't know if anybody else has gone into that 1 minute bracket just yet. Seller now starting to light things up and show exactly what that Neolife Yamaha is capable of doing. The MTech Racing Yamaha is trying to fend off the charge coming from Alan John Fenter on the 3rd of those R1s, the Hygienica Racing machine. Dean Foss versus the Kawasaki's with Greg Caldenas closing in on him, and all of a sudden we've got 2 Kawas in the front end of the spiel. Brandon Good leads out Michael White and the 2 BMWs, and the first one is Upton, the second one is Isaac, he's now in 9th, and Heron down in 10th, the 3rd Kawasaki just ahead of Garrick Flock.
Now the BMW is struggling to stay with the pace of the Yamahas just ahead of them now, but Seller again that lap, a 101 dead, so really putting in consistent low 101s, and that's why he's extended that gap. So impressed with AJ Fenter, first time out on that new Yamaha R1, and he's hanging in with Matthew Scholz, our championship leader. Big shout out to Dean Foss again on the Troland ITR bike, running there in 4th, but Greg Caldenas is coming on the new 2016 Kawasaki.
Now heading up to the top of the hill one more time, and you can see these Yamahas now starting to spread out amongst themselves. Pretty even Steven match there between Seller to Scholz. Scholz is a bit closer to Alan John Fenton than he is to Seller, and that's not what he needs to be. It has to be the reversal. Scholz has got to close down on Clint Seller, but the way that Seller is going around the circuit, whatever they've done down at Anassos Racing is working to perfection, because he's opened up 3.1 seconds, nearly 4 seconds over Matthew Scholz. Scholz now only with half a second on AJ Fenter, and with a sit-up through turn 1, that is a major concern. The MTech boys will be looking at that going, what went wrong here? We had the fastest bike yesterday, we had the fastest bike this morning. Something has changed. What do we do to make it right?
I wonder if Matthew Scholz has gone out on his used set of tyres from qualifying and opted to keep his new set for race number 2, and Seller maybe on the new tyres, because Seller definitely has an advantage. A 1 minute 0.8, a new lap record, a new fastest lap of this race by Clint Seller out front. Matthew Scholz's reply, his fastest time of the race so far, but a 101.4. So losing time all the time on Clint Seller out front. Greg Caldenas put in his best time of the race so far, 101.8, matching his qualifying time. Michael White down in 7th, not where he wants to be. He's second in the championship, remember, at the moment, but down in 7th, losing valuable points on Seller and Matthew Scholz.
As they come through here, we can see just how close it is. Matthew Skoltz has lost big ground. Alan John Fenter all on his own. So Dean Foss and Gildenhuys starting to close in on each other. Then it's Brandon Good taking on Michael White. In fact, Brandon Good ahead of Michael White now. So a change up there between the two privateer Yamahas. A great effort there from Goody. The Linex Yamaha working well here at Zwartkops. And he's up to 6th place, just ahead of that consortium shipping Yamaha of Michael White. Lance Isaacs lead BMW ahead of Upton. 8th and 9th place on track with Heron and Flock extremely close to one another as well. The rest of the field, also some great prices further back. Dominic Nicholas, Hein McMahon and Hendrik de Bruin having a good one. Ricky Lee Weir's involved there as well on the rear racing machine as our leaders head to the top of the hill. Look at the gap that Seller's got. He's nearly got the straight from 4 to 5 between himself and Skoltzy.
He's pulled the pin here, and remember, Clint Seller going for that 5th South African championship in a row. He didn't have the Red Star Raceway he wanted, crashed in the first race while leading, didn't ride the second heat, so lost 50 valuable points on Skoltz. He then went to Pekisa and stamped his authority, won both races, while Skoltz faltered in the second heat, crashing out. So Seller, a man on the mission, he wants to make up those points on Matty Skoltz, leading out in the championship. So Dean Foss still ahead of Greg Caldenes, but Caldenes looks like he's got to turn a pace over the other Kawasaki rider just ahead of him.
We're getting too close to the halfway stage, Rob, and we're coming up on back markers already. Not quite sure who that first back marker is going to be, but the leader will be going through turn 3, absolutely pinned, and coming up on the back end.
It's Evert.
It's Evert Stoffberg. Stoffberg knows he's coming, gives him enough room. The Red Star Raceway rider, of course, his instructor, very, very experienced rider, will not get in the way, and he possibly will stay out of the way of both Skoltz and AJ. Michael White up the inside. Nice move there from him as he sneaks on the inside and gets through on Brandon Good. But picking up on what we're seeing on screen, right now, Matthew Skoltz just doesn't seem to have an answer to Clint Seller. He's coming up on the back end of Stoffberg. Evert Stoffberg will know he's coming. He'll just try and move out of the way as cleanly and easily as possible, or just hold the line. That's normally the rule for the back marker. He holds his line. Skoltz goes on his inside, gets through, and manages to squeeze past. But the gap has now opened up dramatically. It's going to be close to 5 seconds between the leader and second place.
Yeah, Skoltz still running about half a second, 0.6 of a second behind Clint Seller in the lap time. So Seller extending his lead every time he crosses the line. The battle on track here, Heron has now got ahead of Darren Upton and leading out that little charge with Carrick Flock just behind him. The good battle behind him is Michael White, Brandon Good. Lance Isaacs is now up into 8th position, but not where he wants to be on the leading BMW bike at the moment. AJ Fenter on screen, what an incredible job. First time out, if he can go out and pick up a podium finish, first time out on that Hygiena Yamaha, they will be ecstatic.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Write it down, Rob, just picking up on who that is.
Damien Purificati.
Yeah, Damien Purificati going down there. So both of the gem riders, unfortunately, out of this one. Damien Purificati running down in turn 2, Pirelli corner today. And if he can pick it up, he might be able to get it going again. But Purificati, unfortunately, just running too hot down into turn 2. Leaders heading that way now, so yellow flags will be a concern. Yellow flags will be waving for the leaders. If they come up onto the back markers at that point, it could possibly be there. Here's Brandon Good across the line. Siri currently in 6th place with Lance Isaacs on his tail. So fun and games. Turn 2, 149 down. That's Dean Foss. Dean Foss has gone down as well.
Dean Foss has gone.
Dean Foss is turn 2.
Unfortunately, we've lost Dean Foss. He was running in 4th position. That's promoted Greg Caldenes up into 4th, and on screen, Caldenes about 0.2 of a second faster than AJ Fenter, the man in 3rd position at the moment. So watch out. With 9 laps remaining, there's still time for Greg Caldenes to close down on AJ Fenter and pick up the podium position. So we're going to have to watch carefully on the lap times there as the leaders cross the line now. It's Dylan Gray, one of the regional riders further back on his Yamaha, running across the line now. But I'm just looking at the lap times. I'm trying to see if Greg Caldenes is making any leeway into AJ Fenter in 3rd position. Seller crosses the line, a 101.7. Skoltz, 101.8. AJ Fenter, a 102.3. And Greg Caldenes, a 102.2. So another 10th there for Caldenes as Michael White does his fastest lap of the race in 5th position, a 101.8. So the young man on a charge.
Yeah, incredible stuff here as they head up to the top of the hill once again. You can see these riders starting to sort things out now. We're getting into some serious action. Leader going through turn 4, heading up to the top of the hill now. Leader heads up towards the top of the hill, and he has got a 4.5 second lead over Matthew Skoltz in 2nd. AJ Fenter hanging on for dear life for his new team. This will be great to see. 2 M-Tech bikes on the podium, 1 out of Hygienica Racing, 1 out of M-Tech Racing, and of course a great effort there on both riders' behalf. First time for AJ, about the 6th time, and looking for some more action. But here we go. There's Dean Foss. So Vos might have just run wide ever so slightly, and we picked up on him now coming through the field. Dean Vos now sitting down in probably 19th place, but as he comes across the line, he's now looking. There's our leader. He's just crossed the line. So good effort there from the crew to pick up on him, but he's coming up on the back markers there, and that back marker battle has got Dean Vos in it too.
So Vos made a big mistake somewhere, and we see another rider going off there. I think that's Purificati, maybe just rejoining the race, getting his bike back into pit lane to try and fix that up. So let's just see where we are here now. Sella is still very much the man out front. Scott's in second. Once again, Geldenhuys 0.2 faster than AJ Venter, so that gap is coming down now. It's just under 2 seconds, so watch out for that. Greg Geldenhuys on the Kawasaki, closing down Michael White, but Dean Vos has got going again. Sella at the top of the hill now. He's got some back markers, so he's going to have to be very careful on how he gets through them. He does not want to make a mistake now with that big 4-second lead over Matty Scholz.
All right, so as they come out of turn number 5 and 6, leader going down the hill towards turn 8, coming across the line. Any second now, you're going to see a bit of a change up there. Blue flags waving frantically. That's Sir Lachlan Seller through. He's got through. He heads down across the line now. He's managed to get through on the 7.6 of Dylan Gray and Ferdinand Frederick. But that's allowed Scholz to close down. The gap of 3 was 4.5 seconds down to 4.2 now. So it's 0.3 of a second that Seller has lost through that overtaking maneuver and some traffic. Bike number 1 is our man. There is second place into turn 2.
That's AJ Venter
in third place.
But he's coming under pressure now from Geldenhuys. Another almost 6/10. Greg Geldenhuys caught on AJ Venter there. So maybe through the back markers, Venter losing out a bit of time. So Venter, his pit board's going to have to show him that Greg Geldenhuys is coming fast. And so too Michael White in the 101.8 again. So Michael White also on a hard charge at the moment with Brandon Good just behind them. Isaacs and Heron in a good battle there for 7th and 8th with Upton just behind them. He's running about half a second slower than the riders just ahead of him, but look at this now.
All right, Seller's on the back end of the ITR Trolan Kawasaki of Dean Vos. Dean Vos able to run similar lap times. So is it going to be easy for Seller to get through? The blue flags will be waving. Oh, he's blocked. He's blocked slightly there by Dean Vos. That is going to cost him dearly.
Yep.
He's losing time here to Matthew Scholz. And that's the reason why, is because Dean Vos can run, as I said, similar lap times.
Yeah.
So he's not going to get through easily on Vos. He's going to have to use the traffic to his advantage. That's big Etienne Nelson, another big rider. Seller looks on the inside. Oh, Vos eventually gives way and allows him through.
It was good riding there from Seller. It was a really hard maneuver. He had Etienne Nelson on the one side and Dean Vos the other, but he managed to make it stick. Now Matthew Scholz has got to get through that same traffic. So this race is not done and dusted just yet. If I look in third place, AJ Venter, 2.5 last time out. Geldenhuys, another 2 dead. So another half a second. It is under 1 second, that gap from AJ Venter to Greg Geldenhuys. And Michael White is right behind him. So that battle for third place is far done. Matthew Scholz running in second position on bike number 20. There he is in shot now. That's Matthew Scholz coming into turn 6 at the top of the hill. Doesn't quite have an answer for Clint Seller at the moment. Seller managing that gap, putting it back up to just over 5 seconds. So Seller making easy work of the traffic. And look at Dean Vos now dragging the back wheel of our race leader.
Yeah, he's trying to get a little bit extra TV time, I think. He's been waiting for him to come through. There's our second place man. There's third place, Alan John Venter. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, we got Geldenhuys is definitely closing on AJ Venter. We're going to have to wait and see now as they go into turn 2. AJ Venter under serious attack now from Greg Geldenhuys and Michael White on the Consortium Shipping Yamaha. We're going to hopefully try and get that battle on screen here for the live timing. We're going to catch up. Here they come now onto the back straight. There we are. Greg Geldenhuys in shot now. He has closed down big time on AJ Venter. So AJ Venter may be struggling with a little bit of grip, but Geldenhuys after a bad start. Look at the corner speed Greg Geldenhuys can run. He's got the drive up the hill and he's going to use the power of that extent. AJ Venter looks left. Geldenhuys comes past on the right.
Well, he comes past on the right, but he can't get him on the brakes. Venter's better on the brakes down into the top 5 and into turn 5, I should say. Incredible riding there from AJ to keep Alan John Venter out. But Alan John Venter is absolutely working the hardest he's ever done in a long, long time in the National Superbike race. He is keeping Geldenhuys at bay. He wants this podium. He's not going to give it up.
He's definitely not going to give it up. First time out. We haven't seen AJ Venter on a national podium in a very long time. He's got his sponsors here from Argentina. He wants to go out first time and get a podium. But Greg Geldenhuys on that Kawasaki made huge improvements on that bike with Gav Lightfoot. He's also got his Creepy Crawley sponsorship back, so he wants to give them a podium finish. Throw in Michael White just behind them again. didn't get the start he wanted, and he's closing through, but he's had to use a lot of tyre. This is where Geldenhuys is so fast. He's got the drive. He's going to go on the inside of AJ Venter. He does it up into turn number 4 and into 3rd position for Greg Geldenhuys.
Geldenhuys moving up nicely there, gets ahead of Alan John Venter, so a change up there for 4 and 5 as we go up to the top of the hill. Alan John Venter coming back in him.
He's got him
wow,
back.
Incredible. The traffic helped him out there a little bit, and Venter was able to hang on to that 3rd spot. He's not going to give this up easily.
Michael White
Now involved. So there are 3 riders riding for this 3rd place in the podium. This is what Super GP is all about. This is what we've been waiting for a long, long time. The Yamaha versus 2 Kawasaki's for the final step of the podium. And this is where we're going to go to as we've got 2 laps to go.
Michael White has closed that gap down big time. Geldenhuys definitely has a little bit extra pace, but AJ Venter fighting for his life, fighting for that first podium finish. He wants to give his sponsors that podium, but Geldenhuys is not a 3-time SA champion for nothing. And Michael White, the new hard charger, the new kid on the block in the 1000cc category, he needs those championship points to keep him in 2nd place. This is going to go 2 laps remaining. This is where Geldenhuys has a little bit of an advantage using the power of that Kawasaki, but he can't do it on the brakes. He's going to try and square it up, get the drive up the hill and do it on the brakes. But AJ Venter incredibly late on the brakes. He's got good drive. Greg Geldenhuys, he's going to pull to the inside. Will he do it at the top of the hill? No, AJ Venter latest of the late breakers.
I think he's waiting though. I think he's waiting. He's not going to show his cards just yet. Geldenhuys is certainly looking the most dangerous rider on track and can pass at any stage. Alan John Venter will have to use every single bit of his experience, not only on National Championship racing, but at the Isle of Man TT as well. This is our TT rider in the house for the first time with a shot at the podium and 1 lap to go.
And there's back markers, Greg. There's back markers ahead of these riders. Henrik de Bruin on the Yamaha, he's going to come under threat now. So AJ Venter and Greg Geldenhuys and Michael White are going to have to be extreme. Look at this. There's about 5 or 6 bikes ahead of our podium. So here we go. Who is going to be the bravest? Who's going to be the smartest getting through the traffic as they come onto the back straight now? Turn 3, flat out. This is where Geldenhuys definitely has a little bit of an edge and speed over AJ Venter. But Venter doing an amazing job. He's pulled the pin now on the final lap, and he's going to try. No, Henrik de Bruin blocks AJ Venter. That's going to allow Greg Geldenhuys to get the momentum, and he's got the speed going up the hill. Will Geldenhuys make the move at the top of the hill? We're going through the back markers. Is going to be Venter makes the move. Geldenhuys makes the move. Michael White gets stuck behind the back marker. So that's Michael White's race over. Geldenhuys squares it up. He can't get on the inside. Oh, Dominic Nicholas he's holding AJ Venter up. Going to go through the left. Venter's on the inside.
Have to cut to the lead, unfortunately, Rob. Across the line comes Clinton Seller. He's taken the win, but we're back to the battle. Here they come down into the final corner. Alan John Venter with traffic in the way. Can he get through?
No.
Geldenhuys is going to go to the line. Venter hangs on. Venter hangs on only just. Can you believe that? A podium in his first time of asking. What an awesome dice there. Matthew Scholz for 2nd place. Sorry to jump in on you there. But we had to go to Seller for the line. Scholz for 2nd. Alan John Venter for 3rd. Yamaha's 1, 2, and 3. Geldenhuys incredibly 1/10 of a second behind. Michael White 100th of a second behind Venter. Oh man, you don't get better than that. That is Super GP at its finest.
Greg, I'm going to my car. I'm getting my letters.
It's time to get racing,
back
baby.
Racing. This is South African motorcycle racing at its best. Greg is now going to head down to go speak to our podium finishers. 3 Yamahas on the podium. Nick from Yamaha, if you are listening, I want 6 full-page adverts for the next magazine, please. Thank you very much.
In his first time of asking on a brand new machine for Hygienica Racing on a Yamaha R1, it's our Isle of Man star, a man who won the Isle of Man TT a couple of years ago. In fact, only less than a year ago, and is certainly going to go back there this season to do some more damage. But he's doing damage in the Super GP Champions Trophy in his first time of asking, as I said, on his new team, Alan John Venter. Another Yamaha on the podium, and great to see always improving and keeping the battle right at the front end of this championship. For MTech Racing, let's hear it for the Umhlanga Rocket, Matthew Scholz. He was going to be a tough man to beat, considering he was trying to make up for lost ground, and he's certainly doing that now. After round 1, he's now coming back into this championship in a big way. For Neo Life Racing Yamaha, Evil Knievel, Clint Seller. Mr. Adrian Scholz from MSA is going to hand out 3rd place to Alan John Venter. Al, you can step up 1 more position. Eh? That's 3rd there, buddy. I can see that. It's all good. It's been a while, so he's not used to getting up to that one. Eh? Well done, AJ. That's the way to do it. But new team, new bike, and it's certainly working well. Second place, Quinton de Villiers from NGL Logistics will hand that to Matthew Scholz. And our MMC for the City of Tshwane, MMC Mrs. Makeke, will hand out first place to Clint Seller. It's Yamaha 1, 2, and 3. Let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Make some noise for your SuperGP Champions Trophy podium. We are going to get the Masters up in a few minutes' time, but while we've got some time, let's get AJ down here and have a quick chat to third place first and foremost. Involved at the beginning of the season with a different team, but a change up to a bike that seems to suit your riding style, and of course a brand new sponsor to motorsport as well.
Yeah, Greg, this is actually the fourth day I've ridden the bike. It was all about lastminute.com. We've got new sponsors on board, Argenica, we've got Kia, we've got Imperial, we've got a lot of new guys, Otto Oma. You know, the guys of all OE Bearings, they've all helped us. Centurion Yamaha organised us a bike quickly. Ricky Miraz from MTech Racing, he's literally built me a motorbike that I've ridden 3 times. And the minute I got on the bike, it just worked. And every session, we're just improving. So massive, Uncle Rick, thank you very, very much for that. And yeah, I started 8th. I knew we were in for a good race. I didn't expect to be third into turn 1. So it was a big enough surprise for me as it was for everyone else. And we've got a lot to change now for the second heat. I think we can catch the front guys eventually. Well done to Clint, well done to Matthew. And we look forward to race 2.
There was a bit of a concern right at the end there. The Kawasaki's were coming, and I think looking back, Michael White was in with a shot too. Across the line between the three of you, only a hundredth of a second. So those bikes fighting for third place on the podium could be there again if you can't make that gap.
Yeah, Greg, with about 5 laps to go, we hit traffic, and the traffic is quite hard around here. It's quite tricky. 1 or 2 guys is okay, but when you're passing 5 or 6 guys in a pack, it makes it quite tricky. So I knew Greg and them were coming, and I sort of rolled off a little bit just so that I could use the traffic to my advantage. And it worked for me in the end. Greg put a pass on me at the top of the hill. Unfortunately, the traffic caught him out, which worked for me. And then we worked through. So I'm hoping in the next race, I like the scrap. They're good guys to race with. And if there's 5 of us fighting, it's going to be a good race to watch.
I can't wait, but congratulations and well done for your first podium. Let's get second place across here now. Matt, not quite what you wanted, I'm sure. I know you've been working hard with the team and getting the motorcycle all sorted out, but you've also had a little bit of an injury to worry about. It's not really a big concern, but it certainly hindered you at the end there, I think.
Yeah, Seller's pace out front was just incredible. I couldn't keep up, and then maybe last 5-6 lap it started hurting. But yeah, hats off to Seller. He rode a really, really quick race, and maybe for the second race we have to change 1 or 2 things and try to come back stronger.
How were the tyres at the end, all coping?
Yeah, I think that the SE1 tyres hold well, so yeah, we'll have to change something for the second heat and try to come back stronger.
We're looking forward to that as well. Well done, congratulations. Evil Knievel, you want to come join me at the front here, buddy? We've kind of said everything we can about Clint Seller. He just goes better and better every single time. One thing I'm going to throw in, though, is we've got a brand new lap record out of you in that race, which is an incredible effort from your side and from the team side. But you've only got to find 0.9, and then you can go under the minute bracket.
Yeah, put about 100,000 Rand. We can see if we can make a plan there, because there might be a bike or 2 deposited. But, obviously for Anthony Shelley, a huge loss to our series, so I'd like to dedicate that race to him. I think he was a special guy in our grid, and we all miss him. Other than that, I'm proud to be able to put a result together for my hometown. I work just down the road. I've got Near Life, our main sponsors. All of our guys are here, Portable Shade, and we're doing it family style this weekend, and I'm stoked to show them a good race.
Not bad for the top member of the family here today. Looking forward to race number 2. You seem to have the edge over everybody else. Do you think they can find it to get you?
Absolutely, I have no doubt. It's never easy. There's a lot of fast motorbike riders out here and a lot of fast motorbikes, so every race you take it as is and have much fun and try as hard as you can.
All right, they come to the line now for the final race of the day here at SuperGP Champions Trophy. It's round 3. We're at Zwartkops, and it's just going to be incredible.
Right, turn 4, the crowd on the embankment there, get ready, because the action is about to come your way. And it's going to be world-class racing action. We got the best riders in South Africa, if not in the world, lining up here on the grid, all the way down to 24th position. Ricky Lee Weir, the last man to line up on the grid on his BMW. Here we go.
Green flag.
The bikes are in first gear. You're going to hear the rev limiters. That means the launch controls are activated. And here we go.
Lights on. Lights off. Oh, Isaacs with a massive jump start. Isaacs with a massive jump start. A massive mistake there from Lance Isaacs, but it's Matthew Scholz, followed by Sella. On the inside, looks like that might be Dean Foss, who stuck through into third place, but what a start there. Lance Isaacs getting completely wrong off the grid, and in fact, it could be even Brandon Good. No, it's not.
No, it's Dean Foss there in third position. On the RTR, we see a couple of bikes running wide, but Lance Isaacs, that's not what he needed to do. He just launched. The lights did take a little bit longer than they have all day, so he got caught out there, but this is what we wanted to see. Look at that, Matty Scholz out front. Brandon Good in fourth position. Greg Caldenay, not a good start, but he's up now behind Isaacs, so he's going to try and make the move. Not the best start from Michael White or Brent Herron as well. So a lot of guys, here we go. We're going to have a look now again at the replay of the start. Sella at the top of the hill, getting it wrong, but now watch the on the far
top
left.
Right there. Yep. Oh man, he got it completely wrong. Look at that little slow motion. He's already moving dramatically.
Oh, no.
Shakes his head. He knows he's messed up there, and unfortunately drops right out of the top 10, in fact, as they came through. Leaders coming down towards turn 8, final corner of the circuit, and out front, Matthew Scholz starting to open up the lead. Sella in second, Foss, followed by Good, followed by Isaacs, followed by Gildenace. On Gildenace's tail, a very hard charging Darren Upton. Garrick Clark, AJ Fenter got a terrible start as well, down in 9th place, and Michael White nowhere, down in 10th, ahead of Brent Herron and Temba Kamalo.
Wow, this is really going to test the likes of AJ Fenter, because remember in the first race he got up into third and pretty much held that position. He's going to now try and fight his way past some very fast riders. A much better start from Brandon Good. He's there in fourth, but Dean Foss, what a ride into third position. And there we go, Garrick Flock on the inside of Darren Upton. So that was a good move. As Michael White loses the front a little bit into turn 4, but manages to hold it all together and is now streaming up the hill.
Isaacs on the inside of Brandon Good up into the top of the hill. He's trying to make up lost ground. Remember, he's got to try and get as much of 30 seconds ahead of any rider that he can, or he's going to drop right out of contention. It also could take him off the podium for the Masters class too, if he gets that jump start instated. It hasn't been given to us officially yet, but clearly no one is going to dispute the fact that Lance Isaacs jump started there and got off the line. Even he knows. He's up to fourth place. Gildenace with Brandon Good. Then Garrick Flock. Right on Foxtail is Upton. Michael White trying to get up the inside of Upton into turn 1. Didn't quite make it stick, but he had a big look coming through there. Look at this. This is the kind of pack we expected. Yeah. But we expected it for the lead. Unfortunately, the two Yamahas have got away again. So the battle now will probably end up being for fourth place if Dean Foss can keep the power going on that ITR Trolin Kawasaki.
Right, Matty Scholz out front, a 101.1, but matching him literally to the split second is Clint Sella in second place. So that really is the battle out front, a lot closer than we saw in race number 1. Dean Foss doing a great job there in third position, but Lance Isaacs, Greg Caldenay, Brandon Good, Garrick Flock, Darren Upton, Michael White, AJ Fenter, all the way down to Brent Herron in 11th, are literally glued together.
Isaac's starting to close in. He knows he's got race pace, and he spoke about the race pace he's got, and look at this. He's closed right onto the back end of that island, that ITR Trolin bike. He is looking dangerous under braking. Can he go on the inside? No. Foss sees him coming and just matches him on braking. Keeps him out of third place for now, but it's only a matter of time. Gildenace from Garrick Flock. Looking like a tasty maneuver coming out of Michael White again. Didn't quite make it stick. He's got through on Upton. Now he's going to try and find a way through on Brandon Good.
Yeah, that's right. There we go. Lance Isaacs on the inside of Dean Foss. So up into third place on track. But remember, he's got that 30-second penalty. So he's got a lot of work to do. So Dean Foss won't know that though. So he's going to come swimming in. Greg Caldenay is starting to make his way through the pack. It looks like he needs the first couple of laps to settle in on that Kawasaki. Once he's got that in, he really goes. Whoa, that's a big crash. And that's got to be one of our leaders. That looks like a Yamaha.
That's definitely a Yamaha.
It's a blue bike. It's Clint Sella.
It's Clint Sella. Sella's gone down at 4. Sella's gone down at 4. And unfortunately, we didn't get that action, but he's crashed out big time at turn 4.
Yeah, it's Clint Sella. There's the Dragon helmet of Clint Sella, the Shui helmet. Looks like he's moving. He's going to be okay, but yeah, that Yamaha R1 is not good. Yeah, there's Clint Sella moving. He's getting up, but that is a big crash. That's left Matty Scholz now.
Okay,
another crash. That's Garrick Flock.
Garrick Flock also down. That's just coming into turn 8. Just ahead of this battle. It's crossing the line in front of us. So, wow, we've got action aplenty all around the track. Lots of action around the track, and, wow, incredible stuff happening out here.
The pressure again from Matthew Scholz on Clint Sella has taken its toll. Sella again, as he did at Red Star in the first race of the year, crashing out and destroying that Neolife Yamaha Harveys. It'll be 25 points at the moment to Matty Scholz and 25 more points in the championship. Lance Isaacs second on track, but remember the 30-second penalty. Look at the battle behind them now. Brandon Good, Michael White, Darren Upton, AJ Fenter and Brent Herron, all vying for the top 5.
Have a look at this. Greg Kildenase looking on the inside of the first Kawasaki. He wants to be the first Kawasaki on track and be behind Lance Isaacs. there's a very good possibility we're going to have two Kawasaki's on the podium for a change. Lance Isaacs with that jump start is not going to get the podium position. He might cross the line in second, but the Kawasaki's are now fighting for second and third on the overall podium here. Great job from these two riders. Brandon Good just off the back end of them. In fact, I lie. It's now Michael White.
It's Mikey White. He's got up there, but Lance Isaacs is going to be hating life. Because if he did not get that jump start, he could potentially have finished second in this race. And that's what he wanted to do. But the jump start really has cost him so much. But Greg Caldenes is going to round out a good weekend. If he can get past Dean Force and into second position, that'll be a tremendous ride from the man on the still developing Kawasaki.
Well, let's just have a look and see how things go according to the classes right now. As we see the two Kawasaki's fighting for honours on that podium. Right now, Matthew Scholz with a 5.5 second lead on Dean Foss and Greg Kildenace for overall victory. Michael White down in 4th place, of course, looking good. And looking at the timing monitor there, I don't see Lance Isaacs being picked up. Unless they're already giving him that 30-second penalty and placing him there. But Isaacs right out of it. Right about it down in 19th place. So they might have already installed that penalty, and it's just reflecting on our timing monitor. He's second on the road, but 19th on track as we speak.
That's a lot of work to do, but if anyone can do it, it's Lance Isaac. Michael White now, the man on the charge. He's coming through the field. Brent Tarrant right on the tail there of Darren Upton, trying to get past the BMW man. But look at this, Caldenes now up into 3rd on track and 2nd overall. So he's going to chase down Lance Isaac. He would have seen the jump start from Lance Isaac, so he will know that Lance Isaac is really out of this race, and he's up into like 2nd position now.
Let me tell you the other thing that people have seen. They've all gone past that corner now on a few occasions and realized that was Kinsella that was down. More importantly, the first rider to go past there was Scholzi. He would have now got a pit board telling him to calm down with a 5.5 second lead. In fact, up to a 6.3 second lead now. He doesn't have to worry about Greg Kildenace and Dean Foss closing in on him. The 101.8s and 102.2s coming out of those two are not going to meet or match the 101.1s out of Scholzi.
Yeah, Scholzi still pushing out those 101.1s. Pretty much what he did yesterday in the practice and qualifying on new rubber. And we said that new rubber in race 2 certainly put the pressure on the Neolife Yamaha bike. Sella must have seen those new tyres and thought, I've got to push at the beginning of the race if I'm going to stay with Matthew Scholz. And that really did tell on the Yamaha man with the number 1 plate, because he has crashed it big style going into turn 4. We said turn 4 is where all the action happens, and that's exactly what's happened again.
No, really, really great stuff. The leader should be up at turn 5. And
coming into turn 4 now is Matthew Scholz on the back straight. Yeah. Going into turn 4, there's our leader on the MTech Nashua Yamaha. Setting such incredible race pace is Matthew Scholz out front. Isaac 2nd on track, Caldenes 3rd, and look at Michael White. He has charged down on the back of Dean Force, and he can still be a big contender in this race. He can still close up on the back wheel of Greg Caldenes for 2nd position if Michael White can get past the Trolan ITR bike of Dean Force, and Michael White could be a serious contender, putting another Yamaha on the podium position in this race.
Right across the line goes our leader, starting another lap. That is 10 laps to go. 8 laps completed, 10 to go. 2nd place is Isaacs on the track, but he's currently down in 19th. Keep an eye on Michael White as he starts to come through and starts to close in on the back end.
Brent Harron trying to make the move on Darren Upton. The race pace is incredible here, all the way down to Brent Harron in 8th position, are running in the low 1:02s. Even Temba Kumalo in 9th position, running a 3.2, a fastest lap time of a 2.9 there from Temba Kumalo. So race pace here is incredible as they go down the back straight now. Greg Caldenes closing the gap on Lance Isaacs, but look at Michael White. He's trying to make the move onto Dean Force, which will be 3rd on track. And yeah, there we go. We picked it up now on track. Michael White squares the Yamaha off. I don't think he'll have enough on the brakes. As I said, at the top of the hill, Michael
21
White.
21 Rand, please.
No, you're not having my 21 Rand. I needed to get home.
Wowee, that is incredible riding out of Michael White. He was nowhere. When he started, he was down in 12th place initially, and he started to make his way, ticked them off one by one, just showing how good that consortium shipping Yamaha R1 is. Now, Michael White has a chance of getting back onto the podium. He's had one already this season. Can he get another one here at Zwartkops? This is an incredible ride coming out of White, and Magic Mike has certainly got something turned up in terms of his wick. Heading through turn 1, he's already pulling away from Dean Foss. He's looking to close in on Greg Kildenace. Kildenace, of course, sitting in 2nd place, and I think there's a possibility we're going to see Michael White on 2nd place. Evert Softberg moving out of the way there of Morna Gelderhuis as they cross the line, but a couple of back markers starting to come into play. Michael White going up the inside. Is that Johnny Cricker? It could possibly be.
It's the floating orange helmet of Johnny Cricker that's just gone past there. So AJ Fenton now up into 5th position after a disastrous start. He's running really good race pace. His lap times at the moment would seem 2nd on track, so he'll be kicking himself for that bad start because he could have really picked up another podium finish and made it a Yamaha potentially 1-2-3 with Scholzi out front and Michael White coming thick and fast. But Greg Gelderhuis on the Kawasaki back into the 101s. He's 101.7, so good race pace there from the Kawasaki man.
I'm not going to throw AJ out of the fight just yet because 102 deads are much quicker than the 102s. They've just been maxed on that last lap. So 102 deads coming out of both 3, 4, 5, and 6th place on track.
Now looking further down the field there, Brent Aaron is still struggling to find a way past the hard-charging Darren Upton. He just can't do it. There's Michael White. He's the man on the charge at the moment, running 4th on track, but 3rd overall in the rain. He's going to try and close down Greg Gelderhuis there just ahead of him and pick up that 2nd position and more championship points. Remember, with Cello throwing it down the road, that's handed Michael White more points. And if Scholzi finishes out front, Scholzi and Michael White, the 2 Yamaha men, 1st and 2nd in the championship.
Okay, Rob, I've always wanted to ask this of you because we've never had a situation like this, and of course we've contemplated on occasions in the previous commentary. When you get into a situation like this where you know you've made a mistake and you are riding in amongst the guys who are fighting for a podium, do you carry on riding and just give everything you can, or do you eventually just back out and give them a chance to go for the podium officially?
No,
I'm talking about Lance Isaacs.
You're going to get your penalty, your 30-second penalty, so you're going to be hit with that. So Lance Isaacs is not thinking anything other than I've got to go as fast as I can every single lap. If he sees his pit board telling him Greg Gelderhuis is right on his tail, he's out there racing. He's racing for position on track, even though in the overall standing he's got a 30-second penalty. So no, you're going to race for until you see the flag.
Okay, that's awesome to hear. I like the fact that you don't have to hold back and let the guys through. Just give it everything you can and eventually finish up as high as you can with that 30-second penalty. So as we come into the final stages, we've got 6.5 laps to go for the leader. He's already at the top of the hill. This is the battle now for 3rd place on track, and of course it is Greg Gelderhuis and Michael White. Michael White, on the last time of asking, was a 1:01.4. Greg Gelderhuis was only a 1:01.7, so it's 0.3 of a second. He's making up every single lap. There is enough time for him to get past and possibly get onto the 2nd step of the podium.
I just can't believe it. Lance Isaacs, he said he had the race pace. He's proving it now, but it just shows you what a costly mistake a jump start can make. And it really has cost him so much. But Michael White is a man coming thick and fast. Look, last time out, he was definitely the fastest man out of that group. 1:01.4, Gelderhuis 1:01.7. So there was a couple of tenths there from Michael White on the Yamaha, just behind the Kawasaki man. Good ride again from Dean Foss, and AJ Fenton now also coming thick and fast just behind him. But I don't think he'll have enough to catch these guys for the podium. But still a good effort from the new man.
4 tenths quicker on that last lap from Michael White over Gelderhuis. So White has got what it takes here. If he carries on the 101.3s, 101 deads, there's a possibility that Gelderhuis' podium step will be the 3rd one and not the 2nd one he currently sits in. Even though he's 3rd on the road, behind Lance Isaacs in our shot. Remember, they are fighting for the final 2 podium positions, and it looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Look at Michael White's drive. Man, we know how quick that Kawasaki is, but Michael White has got something special. He's had a check to tank before he got on the bike, and man, he is fighting hard here.
Well, Greg, look down at his pits there. What gazebo do you see? That's a Ride Foss gazebo. So that is helping.
Yeah.
And second of all, look at this.
There's a lot of guys that are looking for those.
Look at this. Michael White, 1:01.3 last time out. He was half a second faster than our race leader, Matthew Scott. So he's really the man on a mission. And look at this as they come onto the straight now. They're going to pass Dylan Gray. Oh, and Dylan Gray's hold up Greg Gelderhuis.
That's going to help Michael.
White, look at Michael White. He's getting the drive around the outside, and he's on
trying
the
to go around the outside of Michael. Oh, Dylan Gray has a look at him. I mean, there was just a little bit of, come on, Dilf, out the way. Sorry about that one, but here we go. The battle is on. The war is not finished yet. This is just one of the battles this season, and this is what it's all about. Consortium Shipping, Yamaha, I should say, taking on the creepy crawly Kawasaki down into turn 4. Lance Isaacs Racing is there, but he's actually not. With a 30-second penalty, he currently sits in 11th place on track.
But still, what an incredible race pace from Lance Isaacs in that 2nd position on track. But Michael White, he's closing in on the brakes. He's definitely becoming, but Greg Gelderhuis is not an easy man to pass. Throw in the 200 plus horsepower he's got underneath him, and it's going to be a hard. But Michael White did it in race number 1. He lined that Yamaha up. He gets good drive. The key factor on that Yamaha is the way it gets the power down. You see Gelderhuis square the turn, has to stand the bike up a lot earlier to get it on the fat part of the tire. Michael White on the Yamaha, the old GP lines, runs this corner speed, gets on the gas with the bike still cranked over, and then R1 gives him the grip.
There we go, down into turn 2, incredible stuff. And that red bike is certainly closing in onto the green machine ahead of him. Consortium Shipping Yamaha taking on the creepy crawly Kawasaki, and Greg Kildenase is going to have to use all of his triple South African Championship experience to keep Michael White out. Michael White, a new man to Super GP. Last year he was on a 600. This is only his 6th race on 1000cc, and he's fighting for podiums every single time he gets on one.
An incredible season so far, and like I said, if he can pick this up, it'll be 2nd place in the championship again for the Consortium Shipping Yamaha man. Really doing a great job. And it's one thing to catch a rider at Zwartkops, it's another thing to pass. And Michael White is finding that now. He was half a second faster than Caldenes up till now, but now that he's stuck behind Caldenes, who's also pulled the pin, he's improved his lap times, chasing down Lance Isaacs. So this is going to go down to the wire. Remember, these guys are battling for 2nd and 3rd position on track.
And I just want to throw in a little factor. They're coming up on the back end, Damien Purificardi, Dominic Nicholas, and Etienne Nelson. Traffic is going to play a major role in deciding what happens here between 2 and 3 on track.
And AJ Fenter still running in 5th position there behind Dean Foss. A great ride from the Trollen ITR man on the previous generation Kawasaki, so he's doing a good job there. Brent Herron up into 7th position now. He's ahead of Darren Upton, chasing down Brandon Good. Timber Kamalo running in 9th position. Lance Isaacs up into 10th position now after the 30-second penalty.
Yeah, on that penalty, that's not a bad effort. You can see just how hard he's pushing to try and still make it into the top 10. The way it stands at this stage, good possibility he still will hang on to the Masters win as well, ahead of Hendrik de Bruin, and then his teammate there in 3rd place. That'll be Justin Gillison, or possibly even Hein McMahon. Hein McMahon also in with a shot there, but it's still got to be sorted out. Right, traffic has been caught, like we expected. Lance Isaacs going to have to try and use that traffic to his advantage. He goes on the inside. That's Etienne Nelson. Oh, Greg Kildenase goes with him, and Michael White gets blocked by Etienne Nelson. That's gonna hurt him. But there's still more traffic to be held. Isaac sneaks through, just putting in between. Up onto the braking markers. Isaacs now gets through on Hendrik de Bruin. Oh, just squeezing through. And now as they come and pitch on, in fact, that was Hein McMahon, sorry, not Hendrik de Bruin, similar colours. But Hein McMahon, Isaacs has got through. The Kawasaki hasn't.
No, he's going
still
around
looking
the
for
outside.
opportunity around the outside.
That's going to help Michael White. Now you see Michael White's got the Foster line, but Michael White is going to go around the outside. Oh, Michael White's been balked there by that's Dominic Nicholas on the CBR 1000. So are doing Michael White no favors. He's not going to be a happy man. You can see Michael White going around the outside at the top of the hill. He's lost a lot of time now on Greg Caldenes. Only a lap and a half left. I don't know now. That is really cost Michael White.
Yeah, I think Michael White's going to have to settle for that 2nd place, or 3rd place I should say. Leader looking for him around the circuit. He's probably going to be coming out of turn 3 onto the back straight.
Yes, Matthew Scholz crosses the line now.
Scholz
and he's heading
laps.
2 laps remaining. 2 laps remaining now. Isaac's in 2nd on track, but in the positions he's only 10th. Greg Caldenes. Michael White now is going to have to put in the ride of his life if he wants to beat Greg Caldenes. Last time out, he lost 0.7 of a second due to the back model. But looking in there, he's close right onto the back wheel now of Greg Caldenes once again. We're on the last lap now. Let's see if Michael White has got what it takes to make that move on Greg Caldenes. Looking up the back straight turn now, going into turn 4. He's right on the tail of Caldenes. And look at the corner speed. Michael White is running through turn 4. He gets a drive up the hill now. Let's see if he can do it. And Matthew Scholz, he comes up to the top of the track now. He's got a comfortable lead, but it's really the battle for 2nd place that we want to watch between Michael White and Greg Caldenes. Scholz is going to pick up 25 points. More 25 points towards his championship contention, with Clint Seller crashing out, unfortunately. Here comes the leader across the line, but let's see the battle for 2nd place. It'll be Isaacs on track, but there we go. It's going to be Greg Caldenes picks up 2nd place, just ahead of Michael White, who picks up 3rd position.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, first Kawasaki onto the podium for this season. So great effort there from the creepy crawly Kawasaki of Greg Caldenes. Michael White comes through and will be very happy, and I think he'll be a little bit disappointed that he just couldn't get through there. Lance Isaacs knows he's made a dismal mistake there, and a costly one. It's not going to see him off the podium. He still will get a chance of taking, having a look at the way it finishes up. I'm just going to double check that. Lance Isaacs will still get the Masters Championship ahead of Hendrik de Bruin and Justin Gillison. So that's how that finishes up. I'm not sure if Hein McMahon is involved in the Masters. I don't think he is, but I'll double check that when we get that down there. I would say it's Isaacs from Hendrik de Bruin from Gillison. In 3rd place, just missing out due to some traffic issues, and I'm sure you'll be working on that one for the next round for the Consortium Shipping Yamaha team. Let's hear it for Magic Michael White. I might be mistaken, but I think I'm right in saying this is the first podium for Kawasaki in a long, long time, and they've worked really hard with Greg Kildenace to get him back up here for the Creepy Crawley and Murdoch's Autobody Kawasaki team. Double G, 3-time SA champion, Greg Kildenace. I did warn you about the hair. Right. And yeah, getting a little bit of luck with, of course, our reigning champion going down in a big way, but he'll take that anytime he can because it's going to be a tough season. Let's hear it for MTech Racing's the Umhlanga Rocket, Matthew Scholz. Third place trophy, Mr. Motorsport South Africa himself. Adrian will be handing that to Michael White. And high fives to everybody else, I'm sure. Calvin Mills from NGL Logistics will hand out second place to Double G. And our acting mayor of the city of Tshwane, the MMC Makeke, will hand that to Matthew Schultz. Good job, Matty. Big round of applause. Give him a chance to have a little bit of a celebration on the podium. Remember, stay on the podium, guys. Waiting for that. There you go. It's all yours. Go mad, but just stay on the podium, please. Yeah, you can see Greg Kildenace hasn't been on the podium for a while. He forgot how to shake that champagne bottle. All right, let's have a quick chat to these guys before we bring our masters up. Starting first and foremost with Magic Mike. Hello, Tank. Here's the mascot. He had to come along. We did say that he looks just like his dad, and well, his dad actually looks just like him too. Magic Mike, what a race, buddy. Sheepers, you were pushing hard there, and right in the closing stages, traffic was an issue.
Yeah, our starts both races were absolutely appalling, and came from 10th, had to make my way all the way to the front. Got behind Craig, and he was like the bulldozer. If he went, I went, and the last few laps, I knew he wanted it bad. So I tried everything, but got stuck behind the back marker and had to run a bit wide, so played catch up the last lap. But well done to Greg, he rode a freaking proper race, and well done to Matthew. Just big shout out to Consortium Shipping, Rockstar Energy, Aero Cannon, everyone that helped me. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Dude, we're heading to Cape Town. It's a circuit that's been very good to you in the past, and I think you're looking forward to getting down there to do battle not only with the local riders down there, but of course also to try and consolidate a little bit more championship points, because this should move you up ever so slightly closer to Matthew Scholz and even to Clinsella.
Yeah, you know, Cape Town on the 600 was good. We've never been there on the 1000, so we're kind of going in blind. But yeah, I enjoy the track, and at the moment we're quite high up in the championship, so hopefully we can keep it there and maybe even go another step there.
We'll look forward to that one. Well done, Magic Mike. Next up, of course, we're going to be heading to Double G. He hasn't been here for a while, Craigie. We always used to rip him off about the fact that he was a good speaker, so hang tight for Double G to come up and really show us what it's all about. Greg, it's been a long time since Kawasaki's been on this podium. I'm sure you're happy with the performance of the bike. You've spent a lot of time with Gavin Lightfoot and the guys from KMSA, and of course all your sponsors will be very happy with your performance today.
Yeah, we started off with the season with our bike standard, and we built it up. You know, every round we went to, we've increased the pace, and yeah, luckily today we got on the podium. It's been a long time coming. I'm very stoked, and I'd like to thank everybody who got me here.
Well, good job, and we're heading to a circuit that's always also been very good to you in the past. It's the first time that you'll be there in a long, long time, but I'm sure you're looking forward to taking on the likes of these championship contenders, because now that you've got the pace on that Kawasaki, you're now a threat.
Yeah, we definitely think we're going to be a threat. We just need to find some more pace out the bike, but yeah, we're getting closer and closer each time.
Awesome job, well done, G. Looking forward to that one in Cape Town. Matty, in you come. You had to work hard for that one, but I think when you went into turn 4 and realized that your arch rival was on the sideline, it's something that no one ever wants to see. You want a fair fight out there, but sometimes the luck does help.
Yeah, you know, I'm unfortunately still a crash. You know, like you said, you never want to hear things like that. But yeah, I'm lucky we managed to come off with the first, and hopefully we can just carry on from here and keep up with the whole season and just keep the championship lead going.
Well, championship lead, I think, is exactly what you wanted leaving this round and going to Cape Town. It's exactly what you've got. Now what are you going to try and do? Is it time for consolidation, or is it too early?
I think it's a tiny bit early for that. We're just focusing on trying to get the heat wins, and yeah, we'll just carry on working from here.
Brilliant stuff. Good luck for Cape Town, buddy. We'll see you down there. Right, let's get our masters up onto the podium as well, because of course they were fighting just as hard. In third place and dropping down one step of the podium, that unfortunately goes to Justin Gillison from Lance Isaacs Racing. Stepping up one and swapping out, of course, arch rivalry, I think, starting to happen here. It's a welcome return once again to Hendrik de Bruin. And top of the podium, only just after an absolute nightmare of a start there, Lance Isaacs for Lance Isaacs Racing BMW. Joining them on the podium, of course, will also be our rider of the day, so we'll ask him to come and join. So rider of the day, if he's around, Dylan Barnard, I think, is somewhere here as the champagne corks start going. Hang tight. We're still going to give you your trophies, guys. Is Dylan Barnard around? I did ask him to be Dill. Come on up. Come and join these guys and get the Motul rider of the day. All right, so first and foremost, third place going to be handed out by Mr. Adrian Scotts. We'll hand that to Justin Gillison in the Masters class. Second place is going to be, oh, of course, that'll be for Calvin. Calvin Mills will hand that from NGL Logistics to Hendrik de Bruin. So he's going home with a 2 and a 3. And our acting mayor of the city of Tshwane, MMC Makeke, will hand to Lance Isaacs yet again at the top of the podium. Before you do your celebrations, though, guys, Mark Vine, I know Mark Vine is, that's Mouse. He's known as Mouse from AMP, and Motul will hand the Rider of the Day trophy to Dylan Barnard. Ladies and gents, let's give a big round of applause to your final podium of the day and give them a chance to have some celebrations. Stay on the podium. Great job. Let's get on in there and have a quick chat to these guys and see how we go. Yeah, you can get a quick one as I pull Dill to the side here. Something you didn't quite expect, but I'm sure you've worked really hard for, and a little bit of a surprise at the end of the day. But definitely worthwhile, and I think if you keep this up, as we mentioned in your interview on the podium earlier on, a championship threat.
Definitely. I didn't expect this at all, but it was a great result, and I much appreciate the ride of the day.
Of course, big thanks to Motul as well. We hope you get another one of these a little bit later on in the season. And I think more importantly is just get a little bit higher up on the step of the podium.
Definitely. I hope so I can get higher, maybe even one. You never know.
Good job. Well done, Dill. Moving across to Justin. Dude, I know you worked hard for that one. It wasn't easy. When you saw your teammate have a little bit of an issue, there was a good possibility of even getting up onto that top step like you asked for.
Jeez, I was hoping. But I must say, he's the hardest guy in the world to pass. He's about 7 foot wide on that R1, but he really rode well. Everyone rode a good race. I loved it. I enjoyed it. Thanks to the team. Thanks to Bell Helmets, Santon Auto, AA Bakery. Thanks for an awesome day. Thank you.
Awesome job. Well done, Justin. We'll see you at the next one. Hendrik, it's been another great day for you, and I think you're very welcome return, as I mentioned in the reverse race, but more importantly, you went even one step higher, so the improvements are happening all the time. It's now just a chance of trying to catch that man.
I've got some work ahead of me if I want to catch him. Once again, I'm just thankful to be here. I'm just happy and slowly but surely getting my confidence back, and I'm sure we can just go faster from here, so I'm happy, and thanks to everybody.
I'll look out for some Facebook reporting from this man. He's a big Facebook fan, and I'm sure he's happy with that performance. But a man who's probably happy with the performance, but also a bit disappointed in a very uncharacteristic mistake there, Mr. Isaacs.
Yeah, clearly. I guess it's one of those things. You know, there was a little bit of confusion on the start line. People were waving and pointing at Matthew's bike on the start line. And Henny gestured, from what I could see, gestured to walk over to Matthew to see what was wrong. My clutch, I was already in gear and my clutch had already engaged, so I did creep a little bit, but the fact that I was, I think, 4th or 5th coming out of turn 2 was indicative of the fact that I didn't really, anyway, you know what, it doesn't matter. I rode my ass off. I did my best. I think I was in the low 101s in the second race, which was really indicative of the pace that I should have had in the first heat. But you know, what can I say? My Santon Auto, BMW Motorrad, Lance Isaacs Racing team, we did a great job this weekend. We made steady progress. I think our bike works a lot better with this SE1 tire. I'm really looking forward to the next round. Next round is my home round in Cape Town. So, you know, we 6 for 6 right now, or 6 for 6 in the Super M. I should have been standing on the podium in SuperGP. Unfortunately, it is what it is, my error. But yeah, we'll come back swinging at the next one.
Lance Isaac's Massive are going to be in the house as well. And I think not only that, but you've got a huge amount of following right around the country, but particularly at the home circuit.
Yeah, it's really going to be a good homecoming for me. You know, people think that I'm riding around that track all year, but I only ever go there once a year with the SuperGP Championship. So I'll have just as much experience around that track as everybody else. But you know what? When it's your home crowd, you got everybody cheering you on, and you're trying to do the home turf, do right by the home crowd. We'll definitely be standing on the podium for both races.
Awesome job. We look forward to that. Well done today. And unlucky on that one. I'm sure we'll get you onto the podium in the next one. We're now going into the Tin Run Tour with Mr. Watson. I believe you've got a very, very welcome to, is it Nuska Zwani from the Rivers Foundation. Great to have you here, ma'am, as part of the Tin Run Tour, and of course our initiative to give something back to those a little bit less fortunate. Tell us a little bit about your foundation.
Yes, Rivers Foundation on a daily basis prepares meals for school kids. On a weekly basis, that translates to 32 meals for school kids. Over and above that, we are also feeding the gogos in the township. And the reason we're feeding the gogos is because the food doesn't go only to the gogos, but it also goes to the children that are being looked by the kids. You know, so it's translate down like it's a gift that keeps on giving. Give to the gogos, and the gogos are looking after those kids. And these are vulnerable children. Most of them parents have passed on, or are sick, or are unemployed. You know, so we put these in beautiful buckets with millie meal and other goodies, and we bless these gogos.
It's exactly what this is all about. The Tin Run Tour has been a phenomenal concept, and of course, Stephen Watson, you've been the spearhead of this, bringing in the likes of the Rivers Foundation, and of course, looks like it's getting even better every time we do this.
Yeah, you know, this Tin Run Tour is an opportunity for us to give praise to our superheroes, those people who run NGOs, thanklessly, hardly get any recognition. And this is a platform for us not only to use the charitable nature of bikers to donate, but also to put NGOs such as the Rivers Foundation on the map. I'm particularly proud of this foundation. I see their work. They feed over 30,000 people a month, and it's an incredible effort by a lot of people, all volunteers, all for the good of Jesus, and it comes with a lot of pride to be able to donate to this charity.
More than 30 per week, basically.
30 per week, that's incredible. So just keep up the good work. We wish you all the very best. We hope we can help you in the future as well, and we just commend you on what you're doing. Please keep it up and send the love to everybody that's involved. All right, so we're coming to the closing stage. I'm looking for my partner in crime here. I don't see him around, but of course we've still got to do a Manufacturers Award as well. And of course the Manufacturers Award will be going to Yamaha, and representing Yamaha this time out, Ricky Marias. Come on in here, Ricks. Dude, you had an incredible weekend with your team. Not only have you seen awesome lap times and some new potential lap records being set by all the Yamahas, not only from your team, but from the adjacent teams and your rivals too. But I think another important factor is to see the second man in your team also going and improving his personal best too.
Yeah, Greg, I've got to say, first off, hats off to all our sponsors, and in particular Yamaha for giving us the best bike out there, without a doubt. The numbers on the grid just justify what I'm saying. Temba Kumalo, what can you say about him? The kid has just improved in leaps and bounds. Not many people gave him rat's ass in hell's chance, but to be honest, the guy's come to the party and he's just impressing everybody. He's just improving in leaps and bounds, and it won't be long before he's up front dusting with the fast guys, for sure, for sure.
Well, congratulations, and please pass on our well to all the guys from Yamaha. Another great effort, and I'm sure that you're looking forward to more of the same when we get to Cape Town.
Most definitely, without a doubt.
The SuperGP Champions Trophy is proudly brought to you by Diode and their associate sponsors.